welcome back to this class. Our topic for today shall be chord numeration and chord progression. Now, chord numeration is also known as numbering system and is the use of Roman numerals, whether in uppercase or lowercase, to indicate the position of a chord, its type in relation to its root. It is the use of Roman numerals to indicate the position of a chord, its type in relation to its root. Now, we talked about major triads in our previous topic. Major triads, that is major chords. Minor triads, diminished triads, and augmented triads. Now, uppercase Roman numerals are used to name the chords of a major triad, that is capital I, capital II, capital III, capital IV, and so on. Now, for minor triads, lowercase, that is small letters, are used to name the chords of minor triads. So we have small I, small II, small III, small IV, and so on. For the diminished triads, lowercase Roman numerals are used with a degree sign, this sign written at the top right corner. So this is how diminished chords are named. So you have I with this, II with this, III with this, IV with this, and so on. Now, for the augmented chords, we use uppercase Roman numerals with a plus sign written by the right. So we have I plus, capital II plus, capital III plus, capital IV plus, and so on. Now, we said earlier that chord numeration is the use of Roman numerals to indicate the position, the type of a chord in relation to its root. Now, for major triads, we say we use uppercase letters. So if you see an uppercase letter used to number a chord, it means that chord is a major chord. By that, we have known the type of the chord, which goes in line with the definition of chord numeration. I repeat it again. If you see a capital Roman numeral, maybe I capital, II capital, or III capital, used in numbering a chord, or you just see it anywhere, you know that chord is a major triad because the numbers are in uppercase, that is capital letters. Now, over to the position of the chord. Sorry. Now, since do is the first note, it is numbered using 1. Whereas the second is numbered using 2, me using number using 3, 5 number using 4, so number using 5, so using 6, and T, La using 6 and T using 7. Now, if you see a chord with this number, or you just see this number, you know that the position of that chord, the chord is built on this root. Because do is the first note. Now, what chord is built on this root? What major chord, is built on this root? The do mi sol chord is the major chord built on this root. So, chord numeration, as we said earlier, is the use of Roman numerals to indicate the position of a chord or the type of the chord. The position is here and the type is a major triad in relation to its root, because the root is what brings the relationship between the chord and the number, because the root is the first note Now, what is the second note? What major chord is built on this root? This is the major chord built on this root. What major chord is built on this root? This is the major chord built on this root. Now, what major chord is built on this root? This is the major chord built on this root. What major chord is built on saw? This is the major chord built on saw. What major chord is built on la? This is the major chord built on la. What major chord is built on T? This is the major chord built on T. Now, as said earlier, we said chord numeration is the use of Roman numerals, whether in uppercase or lowercase, to indicate the position of a chord and its type in relation to its root. Now, if you see capital letters, capital Roman numerals used in naming a chord, you know that that chord is a major triad, because we say major triads are named using uppercase Roman numerals, that's capital letters. Now, the position of the chord is indicated by the quantity of the number. If you see 1, know that definitely that chord is built on do. If you see 2, definitely that chord is built on re. If you see 3, definitely that chord is built on mi. If you see 4, the chord is built on fa. If you see 5, it is built on so. If you see 6, it is built on la. If you see 7, it is built on t. So the roots is what gives us the relationship between the chord and the number. Now, in the aspect of minor triads, we say we use lowercase Roman numerals to name minor triads or to number minor triads. As we said earlier, we use 1 to name do, the chord built on do, because it is the first note. We use 2 for re. We use 3 for mi. We use 4 for fa. We use 5 for so. We use 6 for la, and we use 7 for t. Now, if you see a lowercase Roman numeral, you know that that chord is definitely a minor triad. Now, what is the minor triad built on this root? This is the minor triad built on this root. What is the minor triad built on this root? This is the minor triad built on this root. And this is the minor triad built on mi. This is the minor triad built on fa. This is the minor triad built on so. This is the minor triad built on la. This is the minor triad built on T. We are still going to go back to our definition of chord numeration, which says chord numeration is the use of Roman numerals, whether in uppercase or lowercase, to indicate the position of a chord and its type in relation to the root. Now, if you see a lowercase Roman numeral, you know that that chord is a minor triad. Now, we are succeeded in knowing the type of chord. Now, if you see, like we said, the quantity of the number is what indicates the position of the chord. So, if you see 1, definitely the chord is built on do. That is the minor chord for small letters is built on do. The minor chord is built on re. If you see 2, if you see 3, the minor chord is built on mi. If you see 4, it is built on fa. If you see 5, it is built on so. 6 is built on la. 7 is built on t. Which chords? We say we are going to use small Roman numerals with this degree sign. So for do, the numbering will be 1 and the degree sign. Re will be small letter 2 and the degree sign. Small letter 3 and the degree sign. Small letter 4 and the degree sign. Small letter 5 and the degree sign. Small letter 6 and the degree sign. Small letter 7 and the degree sign. So when you see this, you know that it is a diminished chord built on this root, built on do. So what is the diminished chord built on this root? This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. This is the diminished chord built on this root. Now for augmented triads, we see we are going to use uppercase Roman numerals with the plus sign added at the right hand side. So this becomes capital 1 plus capital Roman figure 2 plus capital Roman figure 3 plus capital Roman figure 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus and 7 plus. So when you see this, you know that it's an augmented chord built on do. When you see this, you know that it's an augmented chord built on re as the root. If you see this, you know that it's an augmented chord built on mi as the root. So now what is the augmented chord built on do? This is the augmented chord built on do. This is the augmented chord built on re. This is the augmented chord built on la. And this is the augmented chord built on T. So this is how chords are numbered. And if you observe well, you observe that this chord contains accidental notes, and the other chords will be named, so we numbered, also contain accidental notes. Now we said that as beginners, we are not advised to use chords that contain accidental notes. We are supposed to use chords that contain only natural notes. As we advance, we start using these chords that contain accidental notes. So these are the chords we will be using. Now, these are the chords we are advised to use because they contain no accidental notes. Now, if you watch, this chord is a major chord, so it's to be numbered with a capital Roman numeral, that is an uppercase Roman numeral. This chord is a minor chord, so it is to be numbered with a lowercase Roman numeral. And since the chord is built on re, the number should be 2 because re is the second note. Now, this chord is also a minor chord, so it should be numbered with lowercase Roman numerals. And now, since it is built on mi as the root, the number should be 3. Now, this chord is a major chord, so we should use capital numbers, that is capital Roman numerals. So since it is major capital, and since it is based on fa as the root, the number should be 4, capital IV. Now, this chord is also a major chord. So since it is built on so, it should be 5, that is capital IV, major fifth. Now, since this is also a minor chord, and as such should be numbered using lowercase Roman numerals. And since it is built on la, it should be 6, small vi. Now, this is a diminished chord, and diminished chords are numbered using lowercase numerals with the degree sign. Now, since it is built on T as the 7th note, the number should be 7, small letter VII, with the degree sign written at the top right corner. Now, this is a major chord, this is a major chord, this is a minor chord, this is a minor chord, this is a major chord, this is a major chord, this is a minor chord, and this is a diminished chord. Now over to chord progression. Chord progression is seen as the order in which chords are played or sung. Now, it can also be seen as the succession of chords, that is, which chord comes after which, or which chord comes after the other. Now, chord progression makes use of this Roman numeral. That is why chord numeration is important. Now, let's take a look at the keyboard. So now we are going to make use of key C, which is this. Now, considering the first chord, which is Do, Mi, Sol, chord 1, from Do to Re is a tone, Re to Mi is a tone. Now have our first two notes. From Re, Mi to Fa is a semitone, Fa to Sol is a tone. Do, Mi, Sol. Now, which chord can come after this chord? Any chord can come after this chord. Any chord can follow this chord. So from Do, Mi, Sol, you can play Re, Fa, La, you can play Mi, Sol, Ti, you can play Fa, La, Do, you can play Sol, Ti, Re, you can play La, Do, Mi, and you can play Ti, Re, Fa from Do, Mi, Sol. So you can move from here to any of these chords. Now the next chord is Re, Fa, La. Which chord can come after this chord? Chord 2, Re, Fa, La, chord 5 can come after this chord, which is this. Chord 4 can come after this chord, which is this. Chord 3 can come after this chord, which is this. Chord 6 can follow this chord. This is chord 6. Chord 7 can also follow this chord, which is this. So virtually every chord apart from Do, Mi, Sol can follow this chord. Now the next chord is chord 3, which is a minor chord, Mi, Sol, Ti. Now which chord can come after this chord? Chord 3 can be followed by chord 6. This is chord 6. Chord 4, this is chord 4. Chord 2, this is chord 2. And chord 5, this is chord 5. So only chord 5, chord 6, chord 4, and chord 2 can follow chord 3. Chord 7 and chord 1 cannot follow chord 3. Now the next chord is chord 4, which is a major chord. Fa, La, Do. Now which chord can come after this chord? Chord 4 can be followed by chord 5. This is chord 5. By chord 1, this is chord 1. By chord 6, this is chord 6. By chord 2, this is chord 2. By chord 7, this is chord 7. By chord 3, this is chord 3. So chord 4 can be followed by chord 5, chord 1, chord 6, chord 2, chord 3, and chord 7. So chord 4 can be followed by any chord. So chord 1 and chord 4 can be followed by any of these chords. Now the next chord is chord 5, which is Sol, Ti, Re. Now chord 5 can be followed by chord 1, which is this. Chord 6, which is this. Chord 3, which is this. And chord 4, which is this. So chord 5 can be followed by chord 1, chord 3, chord 4, and chord 6. You cannot follow chord 5 with chord 7 and chord 2. Now the next chord is chord 6, which is a minor chord, La, Do, Mi. Now chord 6 can be followed by chord 1, which is this, chord 5, which is this, chord 4, which is this, or chord 3, which is this. So you can follow chord 6 by chord 1, chord 3, chord 4, and chord 5, except chord 7, and chord 2. Now the next chord is chord 7, which is a diminished chord. Ti, Re, Fa. Now Ti, Re, Fa can be followed by chord 1, which is this, chord 6, which is this, chord 3, which is this, and chord 5, which is this. So you can follow Ti, Re, Fa with chord 5, chord 3, chord 6, and chord 1. Now, if you are given a progression like this, 1, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 1. 1, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1. You are expected to play chord 1 and chord 4, then chord 5, chord 4 again, chord 5, and chord 1. That means chord 4 can follow chord 1, chord 5 can follow chord 4, chord 4 can follow chord 5, chord 5 can follow chord 4, and chord 5 can follow chord 1 can follow chord 5. So this is a progression. So following this progression now, I will play these notes from chord 1 to chord 4 to chord 5, chord 4, chord 5, and chord 1. That is Do, Fa, Sol, Do. Now, we shall stop here for today, and I believe you understand. If you don't understand, you can send me your questions. Thank you.